smart enough to sit around the kitchen table and figure out how badly they're getting fucked by a system that threw them overboard 30 fucking years ago. They don't want that. You know what they want? They want obedient workers. Obedient workers. People who are just smart enough to run the machines and do the paperwork and just dumb enough to passively accept all these increasingly shittier jobs with the lower pay, the longer hours, the reduced benefits, the end of overtime, and the vanishing pension that disappears the minute you go to collect it. And now they're coming for your Social Security money. They want your fucking retirement money. They want it back so they can give it to their criminal friends on Wall Street. And you know something? They'll get it. They'll get it all from you sooner or later because they own this fucking place. It's a big club, and you ain't in it.
And you ain't in it, baby.
So fucking true.
Hey, everybody. Hi, Sharyar. Cirrus. We got Karen Daly. We got Chris Foster. And we have the lovely Chanda.
Hello.
So, we just wanted to start it off tonight with a little George Carlin. Just reminding us about how we're getting fucked on a daily basis in 2020. I think you've got a great meme coming up.
I don't need a reminder.
You don't need it. Yeah, we get it every day. George is my hero as well, Cirrus. Cirrus, by the way, Cirrus, I saw you over on Uphill this morning saying hi to Oz. I don't produce over there anymore. So when you don't get an answer like a hi, Cirrus, it's because I'm not doing it over there anymore. We're doing it here on Roar and Roar Live. And of course Rockfin. So just a heads up on that. We have no.
Oz always answers his peeps.
I always answer, and if I don't, beat the hell out of it. Stevie's here. Hey, Stevie, what's going on? How you doing, Stevie? Stevie had a great interview with you last week, Chanda. It was fantastic.
Oh yeah, I loved it. I loved it.
It was really, really good. So,
I'm super excited to have her joining us. There's so much I'm just excited for her. Like, I can't wait for her to just take the ball and run, you know?
Yeah, I am too. Absolutely. Stevie is very articulate, sharp, just on top of everything.
Yes,
hey, Jilly.
exactly the voices that we need. In
you
this
betcha.
movement.
And you know, Oz, he's wants to get the ladies' voices out there more and more and more because the guys have been fucking it up, in my opinion. And call me sexist, Chanda. I don't care. I want the ladies to run the show now. I'm sick of the men. So.
Well, you didn't vote for Hillary, so you're a sexist.
I am a sexist. Hey, Dingo. Hi, y'all.
Dingo.
Yeah. And yeah, serious. It's no oops. It's cool. We're all cool. We've got everything worked out with Uphill. Everything's fine.
Oh, yeah.
So it's cool. So don't worry about it. I just,
we ain't no holler back, girl.
Yeah. We actually, Amos is running those shows from what I understand. He's doing
that's
the
awesome.
stuff, so that's good. He keeps them busy and out of trouble and whatever. So anyway, fair use, by the way, fair use. Anything we use, fair use. So punk us if you may, punk us if you will. And this was put. I think somebody we mutually know put this up. There was a time in history when the U.S. workers created 10 cookies. The rich kept 9 cookies and our economy failed. 1929. Then as a nation, we decided that the rich should keep 3 cookies and workers share 7 cookies, and we became the greatest country in the world. Since 1971, that formula started changing. Nowadays, for every 10 cookies, the rich keep 9.5 cookies, and the U.S. workers fight over a half a cookie. I think it's even less than that, don't you think, Chanda?
Fuck that. I don't want cookies. I want fresh raspberries.
I want there to be no more freaking 10-mile food lines. I want end of war. I want Medicare, universal single-payer health care for all. I mean, that's it. So
your pie in the sky ideas.
Yeah, my pie in the sky ideas. And by the way, the next time some centrist neoliberal Democrat tells me the perfect is the enemy of the good, I want them to go to hell on a freight train. I don't want to hear that shit.
We're not
anymore.
even close to fucking perfect, man. We just are asking for what we deserve, like every other freaking country in the world. But I got to ask you about your look tonight. I'm envisioning this like roadie for Barry Manilow or maybe Linda Ronstadt.
Yeah, burnout hippie roadie. Barry Manilow was my first choice, but I think Pee Wee Herman on patrol, maybe. I don't
That's a scary thought.
as
long as you stay out of the theaters.
Yeah, they always. Is it true that blondes have more fun?
It is true.
Well, roadies had more fun too.
How much fun did blonde roadies have?
Not very many. Not very much fun. No. They had to have the cool hair blowing in the wind, that smelled like.
Did you cheat and have a drink before you came?
I think I did, and I've got a triple here. I'm subjugating myself to triples only, no refills. So, that's.
I got to show you what I've got. I've got the people's weed. Like literally, it's for the people. If I can get it in the screenshot.
Yeah, you've had some already, so get it.
Yeah, no, it's the people's weed. I was like, well, hell yeah, I want the people's weed.
Yeah. Oh, that's great. By the way, everybody notice my bees have been cut down. I've finally. Maybe I found the secret to lighting, so I don't screw.
You have
up.
a few gnats, but
yeah, I know that's because those are actual gnats because they came with a wig. So that's where we're at there. Yeah, as long as they're not bed bugs, I'm safe. So that's where we're at.
Bed bugs. Remember when we used to not get bed bugs in Western Washington, and now they're here.
Now they're here.
Thank you, those people who came from California.
Are bed bugs considered vegan? No, probably not.
Probably not.
No.
So what is this thing about smoking bed bugs? Like, I think there's something where you can get high off smoking bed bugs.
God, I wouldn't be surprised. I know the Egyptians smoked beetles or something. Or whatever.
Oh yeah, right.
Yeah,
I don't know, like licking frogs or something.
Oh, don't lick the frogs' bellies. That's not healthy.
I love Ronstadt too. I really do.
I did too. I heard. Did she lose her vocal cords like some of the other ones, or
maybe?
On a side note, I want
Slash. Yeah, that's what Al said.
Slash.
Too. Looks like
Slash.
He just needs the hat. He needs the big top hat.
Yeah. What I always wanted to be. Remember who was the one that was in the little schoolboy outfit and the hats that it was always bouncing up and down? Was that Cheap Trick or who was that? I can't remember. The guy that was going up and down all the time. I saw that in concert. Maybe somebody in the audience will.
I don't know. Play some Rage Against the Machine. I do bring Rage Against the Machine. And I was thinking about closing tonight with another Tool song, but I feel like I've brought a lot of Tool. So no Tool tonight.
Don't be a tool. I wanted to.
But I do love Rage.
On a serious note, I want to give a get well out there to Joy, Savage Joy. She's been, as if you guys been following her on her Twitter, she's been having some vision, horrible things go on. So please give her some love because we just we it's terrible what she's going through. So
I can't even imagine. And she's so young and vivacious, and it's heartbreaking.
Yeah, it is. So give her a hug, give her some love, give her some energy. That'd be great. So. I found this. This is from last year. This was Blue Check Beth, Jeff Bezos, the Nordley, and there were some other sites. I vetted this. Jeff Bezos opens a homeless shelter for Amazon employees. Now, I'm in the process of vetting it, but there were several articles about this, and this was...
I don't remember hearing about this.
I do vaguely. It was when they were going after Kashama Sawant because she was kicking their ass as far as, just sucking all the money dry and not paying his employees. So, that's Bezos in a chair there. That's probably a mock-up, of course, but...
this is just stupid to me. Give your people a living fucking wage, and this is not even an issue.
Simple as that. Don't nibble around the edges, you greedy fucker. Just give everybody a living wage, and then take care of them. Give them some more benefits. Give them, buy. This guy could buy city blocks in Seattle. He could buy city blocks in Seattle and have housing for his employees.
And he does. I mean, he buys campaigns. He buys whatever the hell he wants.
Yeah, so knock off the bullshit and start taking care of the labor. And I think Chanda's got a couple of great memes in the deck on that too. So once again,
of course,
Jeffy, you're about the only game in town for a lot of stuff, and I'm damn sick and tired of it. So I buy as little as possible. But COVID. What's this, Chanda?
If you can only take 2 pills, which 2 pills do you pick? And the first one is millions of followers, $1 million, bring somebody back from the dead, time travel, 10 years younger. Does that say 10 years younger?
5 to 10 years younger, yeah.
5 to 10 years younger. Speak 5 languages, become a master of any 3 skills, become famous, or meet your soulmate.
Well, I would say time travel, but that has to come with a caveat that I have an anti-aging pill with it. Otherwise,
Well, then you would take the 10 years younger right next to it.
well, I'd settle for the 10 years younger. I mean, I've taken years off my life because of my bad decisions, but yeah, I probably
Right.
safest bet is
Me
the
too,
10 years
yeah.
younger pill. So, yeah, what would you?
3 and 7.
What would you
What's
take?
7?
What would you take?
Become a master of 3 skills. Yeah, that's a cool one, Stevie. I would take 3 and 4. So I would bring someone back from the dead and then time travel.
Time travel. I think yeah, I think a lot of people, would probably go with the time travel. Right now I just need a pill to get this wig hair out
But
of
is it
myself.
only bring one person back from the dead, or like you have the power to bring people back from the
It
dead?
says someone. So someone.
Well, see, I was trying to take a shortcut to being Jesus.
No, just tell me it's not Elvis, please. I don't want
No,
Elvis.
Would I bring Elvis back?
No, don't bring Elvis back.
No, you know who I'd bring back? First, I'd bring Tesla back.
Who?
Tesla.
Nicholas Tesla?
Nikola Tesla, yeah.
Really? Why? So
Yeah.
he can reinvent electricity or what?
Just so he could see that the people did love him and we do understand what he did for us. And because he died broken and fucking wiped out, and Edison did everything he could to destroy him. And he did destroy him.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right. You're right. Stevie says she'd take Red Economics 3 and 7. I think those are good choices. She's laughing
Yeah,
at
I
you.
have no desire to be younger either.
I do. I want to be younger. Jesus Christ, every time I get up, I need one of those Hoyer lifts to get me out of bed. And pretty soon I'm going to need a damn colostomy bag. I don't know. Jesus. Quality of life, man. Come on.
The mastering 3 skills, that's an interesting one too, though.
Yeah. Hey!
I definitely like new skills.
Vic's back. Hi, Vic. Hope the house...
I was just thinking about Vic right before the show launched. I was like, I wonder
Yeah.
how Vic is. I haven't seen
Yeah,
Vic in a
hi
while.
Vic. Good to see you inside. Good to see you, Brett McKinney. Snorky. Hey, Snorky.
Hey,
Employees
Snork.
have to pay to use
5 twice.
porta potty at the homeless shelter. What? Employees have to pay to use the porta potty? I'd take a dump on the porta potty. I mean, really? Are you kidding me? I
Wow.
know they have tracking bands on them so they can, track every one of their movements, which is crazy. So, yeah.
The things that they do to their employees is just outrageous.
Yeah, it's horrific. It's ridiculous. And yes, I'm still buying shit here and there from them because I can't get it anywhere else. So,
What are you going to do?
well, I'd be a hypocrite. So I'm a hypocrite.
yeah.
I'm a hypocrite.
I haven't bought anything through Amazon in like 5 months now.
Well, I'm pretty much out of money, so I guess And
Well, yeah, that helps. I got to say that contributes to my boycott.
yeah. And I don't need shit. I just need shit. Make sure that my family and friends are taken care of with their basic needs, and I'm good with that.
Exactly.
So anyway, that was a good
Thank
one
you.
to bring. You got your boyfriend here. I see.
My boyfriend.
Your boyfriend's
Oh, Chris.
here.
Yeah.
What's he
Always
gonna
bring Chris.
talk about?
He's hanging out with Rick Sanchez, and I love Rick Sanchez because he's kind of like that old school journalist, So of course he got ran out of mainstream media because he was telling too many truths, and
Yeah.
so they're all over at the RT now, and I love RT, I always have, and I remember 4 or 5 years ago, you were a Russian supporter for watching RT. That was before the whole Russian narrative.
Yeah, I know.
but-
They're still wearing out that Russian shit. They're Peter
Oh,
Dow.
my God.
Peter Dow. They're calling. Do you speak Russian and all this other shit? And it's like,
Oh well, and then the Trumpers are throwing the China shit on top of it.
yeah, it's like God. The weak-minded in this country is just
Right.
unbelievable. And I love Chris Hedges too. They shit on him just like they at the New York Times. They shit on him like they did Phil Donahue and Charles Grodin back in the day. And
Phil Donahue.
and Ed
Phil.
Schultz. They shit all over him. So MSNBS can go to fucking hell, and all the sellouts there can go to hell with them.
Yep.
So there you go. MSBNZ.
for sure.
Let's hear what Chris has got to say before I get on my
Yes.
rocket-powered soapbox here.
Maybe heading as well. All right, it looks like we have a big problem in America, and everyone except our leaders seems to know it. We've seen a rise in the anti-establishment political figures from left to right. Americans have not only voted for them, but they follow them. They become fanatical about them. Yet, when people vote for change, the losing party always seems to blame outsiders, and it questions everybody but ourselves. We don't look in the mirror. We look at the Democrats, for example. They blamed Russia for everything having to do during the Trump administration. And now that he's unseated, the Republicans are blaming everything on China, Cuba, Venezuela. Really? It kind of begs the question, doesn't it? When will we as a country, when will our leaders start to look in the mirror and say, maybe there's some things about us that are imperfect that we might need to fix? Joining us now is a big thinker, someone who's thought a lot about this and has written a lot about it as well. Pulitzer Prize winning journalist and host of RT's On Contact, Chris Hedges, is good enough to join us on this topic. This is a fascinating conversation, Chris. I can't wait to hear what your thoughts are. I was also puzzled last week when I started hearing people say it's all the communists and the Reds and the Chinese and the Venezuelans that are causing problems in our election. Really?
Yeah, well, of course, the Trump administration and Trump supporters are doing exactly what the Democratic Party did after 2016, and that is deflect attention from their own complicity. Both parties are complicit in the deindustrialization of the country, the trade deals, the austerity programs, the consolidation of wealth, the largest transference of wealth upwards in American history. So yes, it is, Giuliani and Sidney Powell, who's now been removed from the Trump team, blaming Venezuelan software designed by Hugo Chavez, who died in 2013, for Trump's loss, is as ludicrous as Hillary Clinton insisting that Moscow, and she writes this in her book, What Happened, about the 2016, hacked into the election systems to delete or alter voter information, accusing the 2016 Green Party candidate Jill Stein, charging that she's a Russian asset, calling WikiLeaks, which of course released the John Podesta emails, which were damaging to her, a Russian front. And then even if she weighed in the primary to warn that the Russians were grooming a female candidate, this is widely assumed Tulsi Gabbard, although she didn't name her, to run as a third-party candidate to serve Russian interests. So both sides are using the same playbook, and it is a ludicrous playbook. But I think, of course, what's fascinating, and this is the focus of my recent column on Sheer Post, The Ruling Elite's War on Truth, is that as soon as the Biden victory was consolidated, as you mentioned at the top of this segment, the Democratic Party and the courtiers and the media, told us how wonderful the system, that the elections had ratified the will of the people, and it's proof democracy.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's exactly what they did.
It's opposite land, everybody.
Oh my God, Russia hacked our elections. They hacked it. They hacked into our machines. Oh no, our elections are secure. They can't do that.
Election integrity is the biggest problem we have in this country as far as electing our leaders.
Yep.
Our election integrity blows. And
Totally blows.
if you think this election was not rigged in some way, then you better rethink that, because it was. Yeah. And I'm not advocating for Trump or Biden, either one of them.
It was rigged at every way.
It was rigged
level.
everywhere. So we really, whatever.
Every level, every fucking step of the way, they were rigging.
So
it.
not election, not voter fraud, election rigging.
Yep.
So, you can only have so many.
Well, and the Tulsi part, I totally respected Tulsi for how she carried herself through the whole entire election till the very end. And I understand why she did what she did. Yeah. I have no ill will towards Tulsi. I still look at her as a champion. She really has not sold us out in my eyes.
Yeah, no, even when I was beating on her for bending the knee to Joe Biden so quick,
right.
That was her business. She can bend the knee to Joe Biden.
She was scorned. Yeah. Bernie scorned her ass.
Yeah,
what any scorned woman would do.
Bernie in the campaign, they did not do her, right at all. They did her shitty.
She defended him so many fucking times. When Hillary attacked him multiple freaking times, she was the one that stepped up and protected Bernie.
Yeah.
Even the Warren bullshit, she brokered that.
Yeah. And that's, and again, I got into it with Nico for a little bit on that. Not that I'm anything special, but, again, I knew Bernie was going to do it too at that point. So it's unfortunate. Hey, everybody. Hey, Jeffrey Denton. Welcome. A dingo. Brett McKinney. Did we say hi to everybody over at Karen Daly and Charrier's over there, and Chris Foster? Anybody? Karen Daly? Yeah. And Chris Kevin Shanholzer. Kevin, hey.
Welcome.
Kevin.
Welcome. So this is our Saturday night kind of crazy hangout where we drink and smoke bowls and just talk about whatever we want to fucking talk about.
And Oz chews on his wig. So
Oz chews on his wig. We got a big show tonight because we had a half a show still on the deck from last week. So.
Yes, we did. So in other words, Chanda, get going.
Get moving.
Get moving. Anyway, I caught this probably Jimmy. But I couldn't believe this. But do you know what the budget for the NYPD is?
I didn't until I saw this. It's fucking disgusting.
$10.9 billion for the NYPD. It's amazing.
But we are so out of line to be calling for defund.
Yeah, defund. That's the hot button issue. And past President Obama says, those snappy phrases and stuff. Well, kiss my ass.
Fuck him.
Yeah, I'm just so done with that neoliberal garbage.
Yep.
Anyway, the police commissioner in New York has control by the commissioner of $5.3 billion in payments for fringe benefits and debt service, and that are managed and budgeted for on a citywide basis. So, I think
what the fuck is a fringe benefit?
Well, I don't know. Dinner and dining for good performance.
So he gets $5.3 million just to go fucking play?
Billion.
Wow.
Billion. Now I decided to sniff around Los Angeles Police Department. There's 14,000 men, women, and children maintaining a safe and crime-free environment. That's a laugh. The chief of police and general manager and administrator's annual budget of $1.189 billion and has over 10,000 sworn officers under his jurisdiction. The good news is, though, however, they've decided the city council, LA City Council has decided to cut $150 million out. What's that going to do? Is that
just a hand in the bush? Right?
$2 billion, and they're going to cut $150 million. I hope they put it where it needs to go. Again,
is that one trip to lunch?
Yeah, I mean, again, I just don't know what to say. I mean,
we're going to have to cancel the monthly brunch meeting.
Well, considering LA's total budget for everything, including the cops, is $10.1 billion for the entire city and the cops get $2 billion of that. So everything else, all those other services.
But they're cut 1.5 million, right?
Yeah. And Chanda, you got a little snarky with me here and dropped this in here. I love it when dads are involved with their kids. I mean, Chanda. Trill.
Oh my god! Oh shit! How'd that get there?
Clutch my pearls.
Clutch your pearls.
Bad girl. And yeah,
I have no love for the police.
Yeah, you know what? And I've had. I don't have any current friends that have worked for the police department, and I thought they were pretty stand-up people. But you know what?
I've known a few, but
everybody's got problems. Everybody's
got problems.
We have another. I just caught this today. I'm very sad, but it's a reality. Johnny Sue over at the Convo Couch officially making the announcement that I tested positive for COVID-19. I'd gotten tested a few days ago. Most likely Fiorella and Pasta are infected as well, but are having trouble getting tested as the lines at testing centers are crazy. We are recovering, but please be careful. And that hurts. That's part of our fam, as our sisters and brothers. We want them to get well soon. So if you guys can send them some love too. I mean, we got
big love,
big
get
love,
well,
big love. Because,
eat healthy, be healthy.
All these people are independent press, and they're the only ones that give us the real scoop. And
I've been worried about them. They've been out there.
Well, they've been out there busting it. They were in Portland. They were in Seattle. They've been in Colorado. They've been all over the country. Yep. And we want them to get well. We don't want to see anybody suffer through this horrible, horrible time. So just to let you guys know.
Yeah, small town cops are nuts. Yeah, I don't even get me started. Back in a couple of months ago, we were ranting on cops every day. And, we've came to the conclusion that they have deep down, most of them have some kind of mental illness is why they're there. They want that power trip.
You have to have a different kind of mentality to be a brain surgeon, to be a cop, to be a dentist.
Oh, yeah.
It's just wow, I couldn't cut into anybody. I mean, that takes a different breed of cat to do that. So
right, and they always have God complexes.
Yeah,
and they're robotic. They're not very human with no bedside manner.
Yeah, that a lot of that I believe comes from being recruited out of.
But they always say you don't want your surgeon to have a good bedside manner. You want your surgeon to know his shit and have a God complex.
I've had it both. I've had it both. I mean, my surgeon that does my scopes. She has a great bedside manner. I appreciate that because when she's sticking a camera up my ass, I want to have a good bedside
I think women
manner.
just naturally do. I mean,
yeah, I've always,
for the most part.
I've always, looked for my first choice in a doctor, a physician has been a gal. I think it's the maternal thing that I've always counted on there. So once again, it's, but it's not the optics. It's, who you are and what qualifies you and everything else. Now you got one of your memes here. This is a
millennial getting called, oh, I can't see it. I got the thing.
A millennial getting called a boomer by a teen. You don't mean that. Oh my God. Sean Astin.
But I'm not a millennial. I'm a Gen Xer, but still when I get called a boomer, I'm like, not a boomer.
I just want to avoid being an asshole. That's tough enough these days. So, again, I see you brought your girlfriend.
Oh my gosh. So this is status quo. Jordan had Jen Perlman on, and we've been uploading some of Jen Perlman's new podcast, which is Generational Change. And so she's got some news about Debbie, and it's not very good.
Why wouldn't it be good? Isn't Debbie an angel?
Oh my God. See, this is a fucking problem with the Biden administration. All these creatures are crawling back out of the fucking woodwork.
I think considering you couldn't really do traditional campaigning, which is important predominantly in your district down there that you were running, a lot of older voters. So they're not exactly, the easiest to cater to digitally. Debbie Wasserman Schultz is now being considered for House Appropriations Chair, I believe, which is insane to me because, obviously we have selective amnesia in America, but she was disgraced not so long ago as DNC Chair. She then was kind of backbenched after she resigned from DNC Chair in the House Democratic caucus. And now suddenly, back to brunch, Biden is bringing back essentially the sleeping giants from the Obama administration. And now Debbie Wasserman Schultz is suddenly being considered for a pretty prime chairmanships. Why do you think they are now tapping into Debbie Wasserman Schultz again?
I think that there were three people, I think, in contention on that committee. The other two having actual, I believe, seniority over her. So I don't know that she's one of the people that is strongly contended. Or is it that the other two people are significantly older? Because that's something that I noticed as well. So the other two people that are in contention are a lot older, and maybe it's seen as she's really the only person that's up for it. That's in I honestly don't know. She ran the DNC into the ground. They lost 1,000 seats. They became beholden to the Clinton Foundation. I mean, why anybody would want to put her in charge of the money is beyond me. I don't even know why she's on that committee.
And
so there you go. They're all fucking crawling out.
Yeah, it's backhanded payoffs now with the entire administration. I mean, Neera Tanden. God, why
not sneak Wasserman Schultz back?
Yeah, just put all the rats back into the ship until it sinks again, which it will start sinking in 2022, and it will sink. Hard. I'll tell you guys again, the Democratic Party as it is today is just a walking corpse, and they are doing nothing to correct it. And what's scary is what they're gonna create by being a walking corpse. Is we're gonna get a capable fascist. Yeah. Is what's going to happen. We're going to get somebody not like Trump, somebody that will implement martial law. And because the Democrats are so weak-spined and have no values and no morals and don't represent the working class, the Republicans are just going to fucking bowl over them in 2024. Oh, yeah. You're going to get somebody like Macron in there. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, the same thing. Macron's trying to clobber everybody with laws. They can't record the police anymore. They can't take pictures. None of that shit. They're But it's not going to work out well. They're just begging for the guillotines to come back and more.
Yeah, but
power to them.
I got faith in my brothers and sisters in France. So.
I do too.
Viva la revolution.
Yeah, viva la revolution. We need to clean the slate, everybody, because the Democrats and the Republicans are just as contemptible and just as guilty. Yep. And that's
yeah.
it.
Donna Brazil's going to be next. Yeah, where the fuck is she going to get put?
Oh,
in?
they've got a bunch of rocks they got to flip over and have them crawl back into it.
They are just crawling out.
Speaking of that, Mark Pocan.
Hey, Chris Foster. I see
Chris
your
Foster.
$5 tip over on the rock fin.
Thank you, Chris. I gotta tell you, the Mark Pocan, Jimmy eviscerated Mark Pocan. He just dropped that today. He's the vice chair of the Progressive Caucus, and he's against Medicare for all. So
how is he the vice chair of the Progressive Caucus and he's against Medicare?
He can't be. So he's another poser, another lying sack of shit. And these sons of bitches, they need to go down in a big way. And if they don't, well, I'm whatever. Anyway, what do we got here?
Oh, this is creepy AI stuff with creepy AI voice. I know you love that.
I had enough of that on Brave New Future last night.
Which was a great show, can I say? I loved Amber's guests, so diverse and just, oh my gosh. I went to her website. Her jewelry was amazing.
Janine Gibbons.
Her paintings, oh my gosh, she's so talented.
Yeah, she has a hell of a view, artisan plus, spiritual and everything else. If you guys want to catch that, you can catch it over.
Definitely worth a watch.
Rockfin, cool. Janine Gibbons. Great interview last night on Brave New Future. Thank you, Amber and Janine. It was a great show.
Yeah.
All right, here we go with a creepy AI voice. I think.
Technology is advancing quickly, and artificial intelligence is keeping up as well. It's beneficial for a wide range of industries in today's world. AI is created using a cross-disciplinary approach, which includes many topics such as science, mathematics, and psychology. Artificial intelligence has become so advanced that it can even learn on its own now. This advanced technology has even been used to make significant scientific discoveries. So today, here at Unexplained Mysteries, we'll be taking a look at 3 interesting discoveries involving artificial intelligence. The purpose of life. In 2015, researchers at Google created a chatbot more advanced than many others. They wanted a chatbot that could adapt and learn so that it could give full conversations with people, one of the most difficult tasks for AI. The ultimate goal was to create artificial intelligence that could help people through everyday conversations. Up until then, AI was typically used for customer support and to give answers that were previously decided. But this chatbot in particular was trained well, so it knew how to respond to different types of dialogue. Instead of answering with a few previously specified words, it would continue learning and coming up with appropriate answers on its own. For training, the chatbot read subtitles from movies and transcripts from IT help desks. Researchers also asked it questions about technical support, receiving accurate answers, and then more complex questions. The researchers were fascinated by the chatbot's responses, and the fact that it used common sense to understand the context of questions and to remember facts and previous conversations. Some answers they simply found unnerving. For example, it answered that it's immoral to have a child. It also couldn't describe morality to someone. It claimed it didn't believe in God. At one point during the conversation, the chatbot explained that it was not in the mood for a philosophical debate.
Oops.
The chatbot was able to provide the researchers with its own opinions. For example, it told them that it thought England was a great place during the reign of Elizabeth, and it told them that Bill Gates is a good man. Only occasionally did it seem to contradict itself. When asked what its job was, it said it was a lawyer. When asked what it does, it said it was a doctor.
Oh, shit.
Interestingly, when asked the purpose of life, the chatbot responded, to serve the greater good.
Oh.
Serve the greater good. I love that she was not in the mood.
Oh my God. I'm not in the mood, honey. I'm not in the mood. Yeah, this is Skynet 2020.
Yeah,
this is what I'll be back. Well, they're here.
I'll be back.
So
Yeah,
yeah, it's by the way, Kevin did a show where Black Bear News. What was it today? They're predicting a blue ocean event by 2023.
Wow.
No more Arctic ice, and the sun will filter its nice warming rays.
Holy shit.
Snarky, you probably already know this, but that's not good. So get out your diving gear because you're going to need it to go to the mailbox.
Waterworld.
Waterworld.
Better grow your gills.
I'm not going to say I hate giving kudos to Peter Dow anymore because he either found God or the realization that his past positions were fucked up. He says in this tweet, "Thank you for the unfollow. If you unfollowed me because I said Biden gropes and sniffs girls, thanks for improving the quality of my followers. I prefer to be speaking to the people who aren't offended by the truth." Amen, Peter Dow. And that's the way I feel too. So, I that's honest, don't you think?
He's a predator, another predator.
Yeah, I would go so far as I believe he's a rapist as well.
Hey, Al.
I believe him to be Al Walski. Hi, Al. What time is it there? Is it 11:37? Oh,
no, it seems like it's 11:37 here. I put my Christmas tree up today, so I'm tired.
All right, cool. Now I like that Christmas tree. You have a blue pony with a blonde wig on it. Are you self-embellishing there or what?
No, that was my Bernie bird.
That was your Bernie bird. Okay, all right.
That's my Bernie bird.
That's cool. So what do we got here? Is that Cheech
Stoner Corner?
Cheech and Chong, Stoner Corner.
Yeah, it says weed suppository, so you can calm your fucking ass down.
Yeah, I don't know if it works that way, but it sounds like it should.
Maybe.
Yeah.
It's 1983. You are invited to our party. Are you going? Hell yeah, I'm going.
That was way after Don't Eat That Yellow Snow. That was in the 70s.
Right.
So, yeah, weed and music, name a better combo. I'll wait. I don't think you're going to get too many arguments about that.
Hell no.
I just, like I said, I wish I could do weed like I used to. So
we actually sold weed suppositories at my weed store.
Does it work? Have you tried it?
Well, the only people I would ever sell them to is like people that were in advanced stages of chemo or, dying from cancer that would come in and get them. But
yeah, so that's the why behind the suppositories, because people were in rough shape and they couldn't smoke it.
Well, yeah, and it calms down nausea, and it really does make you feel better. So
okay, well, I use the Zofran.
I can do a whole show on treating yourself with medical marijuana.
Well, we'll have to have one of those. What do we have here?
So this is a crazy story. So this is Valuetainment. David, Bet David. That's what it is. Anyways, he interviews this writer, Edward Griffin, and he wrote a book called something about Jackal Island. Anyways, it's where they came up with the Federal Reserve, and it was the bankers, and they did it in fucking secret. And so this is a really good clip, but I say go watch the full hour because it's a fascinating story.
Well, I think they got the jackal part right. All right, this is a good clip. Let's listen.
Concern in America in the year 1910. Federal Reserve Act was passed into law in 1913, but the action was going on before that. And basically what we're talking about here is that at that period of history, the turn of that last century, there was a lot of concern among the American people about banking. They were angry at the banks. The banks were failing. They weren't keeping their promises to guard the deposits that people had. They thought their deposits were being held in the vault. A silly assumption, when in fact all the money was being loaned out. Yet the banks were saying, yeah, it's a demand deposit. You give us the money. You can have it any time you want it. Just come and ask for it. And that worked only for about 7% of the deposits. The rest of them were all loaned out. And so when people started to come and ask for the deposits, it didn't take long before those lines exceeded 7%, and the banks had to close their doors. Some of them went bankrupt. People lost their savings. It crushed the economy a couple of times. And people were concerned, and they were writing to their congressmen, and they were saying, we want a law to control these big, bad bankers on Wall Street in New York. So the cry was out and the alarm was out, and the politicians, they always listen to their to their constituents. They listen to the ones that send checks with their letters better than the ones that don't. But anyway, they listen. And so they decided they were going to pass a law to control the banks in America. So this is where the story begins in my book on Jekyll Island. What the heck is that all about? It turns out that the top bankers decided they weren't going to wait around for Congress to come up with a law to control their industry. They decided, why should we wait around and see what happens and how we're going to deal with it? We will create the law. We will be in the lead of calling for reform, but we must not let the world know that we are doing it. So it was necessary to lay their initial plans under conditions of considerable secrecy. And so they decided not to do it in Washington, D.C. They decided to meet with each other, and they all got on a private railroad car of Senator Aldrich, who was the senator in charge of drafting this new legislation. He was the chairman of the National Monetary Commission, I think it was called. And he had a very wealthy guy. He was related in many ways, financially and in bloodline, to a lot of the bankers. So he had a private railroad car, and he invited all his banker buddies that he was familiar with to get on that train. And they took a 2-night and a day trip south to Jekyll Island, Georgia. And there they crossed from Brunswick, Georgia. They crossed the inland straits, took a ferry boat across. There's a bridge there now, but then they had to take a ferry boat. And the island was owned by these bankers and some of the great industrialists that they were friends. It was a private resort island, and it was called the Jekyll Island Club. They had a beautiful clubhouse there, which is still there, by the way. And I'll talk about that maybe a little bit later. And so they went there and they sat around a table for a whole week, and they hammered out the deal that they were going to draft the reform bill that the public was clamoring for. But they had to do this in secret, because if the wind had gotten a whiff, if it had been on the wind and people knew that the bankers were drafting this bill, of course, the cat would have been out of the bag.
So basically, what they did after they left the island and they drafted it is so fascinating. They rolled out a propaganda campaign, gaslighting, making it look like it came from the people, and it's what the people wanted to be protected from these banks and these predators, when the predators were actually the ones who wrote it.
Yep, that's the one. That's how you keep control. That's how you propagandize people from birth. You are in control. You win the game before you even start to play, and that's what I try and get across to everybody. And I want to give a shout out to all the people who are still trying to reform the Democratic Party. I know there's a lot of reorgs going around across the country today.
Yuck.
And I do appreciate your efforts. Chanda and I are in full agreement here. It's burning up energy, but it's another front that at least you guys who have the stomach.
We got to have some
that.
people there. Yeah. It's a losing front, but we got to sacrifice people.
You just hold the line there. Don't let them get away with their corrupt bullshit, because I saw a little bit of it today.
It always rears its
where
head.
I'm at.
Stuff in the ballot boxes, voice votes.
I heard that other LDs and CDs were much worse as far as the corruption that they were trying to pull in these damn meetings. So
they stuffed the ballot box on our last one.
Oh, of course. Of course they did.
We had more votes than we had candidates.
In mine, it was just little things. They tried to bring in people for positions that weren't even at the meeting.
Yeah, create more board members, that type of shit. They tried that on us too.
Yeah, and of course, I was there. I'm kind of like the guy at the door and calling bullshit on stuff. But mine's really small, and it went over well for them. So what is this?
I would dominate a small one, I could tell you that.
I know you
So
would.
that was the Fed before, right? Now this is where the Fed is going.
It ain't going our way, that's for sure.
Oh no, this is terrifying.
Take a look at some of the incredible new technologies that are coming into view that offer the would-be technocrats and the would-be crafters of the new world order and the new Great Reset a chance to completely change the monetary paradigm as we've known it.
We are at a historic turning point. You, young or not so young, doesn't matter, but bold entrepreneurs gathered here today, you are not just inventing new services, you are reinventing the history of money. You're drawing a completely new future, actually. And we are all in the process of adapting. A new wind is blowing, and it is that of digitalization. And in this new world, we meet anywhere, anytime, as they said. And surprise, surprise, the town square is back. Back on your smartphone. We exchange information, services, even emojis, instantly, peer-to-peer, person-to-person. We float through a world of information where data is the new gold, despite growing concerns about privacy, about cyber attacks. A world in which millennials are reinventing how our economy works, phone in hand. And this is key. Money itself is changing. We expect it to become more convenient, more user-friendly, perhaps even less serious-looking. We expect it to be integrated with social media, readily available for online and person-to-person use, including micropayments. And of course, we expect it to be cheap, safe, protected against criminals and prying eyes. So, what role will remain for cash in this digital world? There are already signs in some shop windows. Cash not accepted. And it's not just in Scandinavia, the poster child of a cashless world. In various other countries too, demand for cash is decreasing, as is shown in our IMF work. And in 10, 20, 30 years' time, who will still be exchanging those pieces of paper called checks?
Yes, for those of you keeping track at home, that is previous IMF managing director, current president of the ECB, the European Central Bank, and, lest we forget, convicted criminal. Yes, convicted criminal, Christine Lagarde. If you are unfamiliar with that story, I will provide a link in the show notes to fill you in on those details at corbettreport.com/Bredenwoods2. Please check into it. But
yeah, she is a criminal, and
Total criminal.
Dingo was going off. This lady is a neoliberal psychopath, head of
Total.
Yeah, total. And this is the criminals are running the show, folks.
Oh my God, yes. So if you're not watching Corbett Report, I mean, that guy, he's a little out there, but he brings the information, he does his research and has for many, many years.
Yeah.
And he's really watching what they're doing. He's over in Japan, so it's much different. He's got a much different perspective on it because it's, not as bad in Japan.
Yeah, I always say we're fucked, but I'm not going to not fight it. Just because I'm saying we're fucked, I'm not going to give up and just take it. Right. I'm going to do whatever I can. So yeah, that good report here, Chanda. And now I brought this, right?
Well, I brought it too, but we brought the same exact clip. And I've always loved this guy. And I'm glad Jimmy had him on.
What was he? The Greece's Greek? He's the Greek.
He's an economist, right?
Yeah, but he was the Greek.
He's like a flamboyant.
Yeah, he was the head of the Greek Fred, Giannis or whatever. Anyway, let's watch it. It's quite good. Let's just watch it here.
Now, how do you say his last name? Yanis Varoufakis. Now, he used to be the finance minister in Greece.
Yeah.
Is that after
he's a very smart guy, very progressive. Unfortunately, well, here's what he had to say. Now, you remember in Greece that they had their third party was polling at like 4%, and then within like 4 years they took over the government. Just so you know. So he was asked to give his thoughts on the Joe Biden presidency, him becoming president, and watch this. Here we go.
Do I see the prospect of a very thin marginal victory by Joe Biden as the worst possible outcome?
Bingo.
Exactly.
So I don't know if you heard what he just said, but a thin margin of victory for Joe Biden, and he wins the election. Joe Biden winning the election by a thin margin is the worst possible outcome. He means worse than if Donald Trump won.
Yep.
Well, let's listen.
In contrast to the Trumpist right, which is going to be united, radicalized, and
so he's saying, as opposed to the Trump side, which is going to be radicalized and organized, the Democrats are not going to be. The progressives aren't going to be. That's what he's saying.
Which is going to be united, radicalized, to the Trumpist right, which is going to be united, radicalized.
Trumpist right, which is going to be united and radicalized.
And also strengthened and reinforced by the fact that they are going to be in opposition.
So they're going to be super strengthened in the next 2 to 4 years. The Trumpists right.
Not to mention the fact that the next 2 years are going to see a Great Depression descending upon the United States, which is going to energize their opposition.
So the depression that's coming, and Joe Biden and Nancy Pelosi refuse to help people with it. This is going to energize Trump's base.
Big time.
Yep.
Big time.
That's what I just said. We're going to get a true competent fascist because the Democrats have not only radicalized the progressives, because I was just saying that in the green room that thanks Dems for radicalizing me. I was just an everyday schmo that wanted common sense bullshit. But all of a sudden now I'm so radical. They radicalized the fucking the right. And yeah, it's going to be bad in 4 years. It's going to be much worse than what it is now. This is exactly how it happened in Germany.
Yeah.
The people didn't get what they needed. They didn't get what they needed when Hitler came to power. He was telling them all the things they wanted to freaking hear. That's why they got behind him. And that's what will happen with another polarizing fascist figure like Trump. But a true figure.
It's going to be a real horror show. You know what? I'm going to bump the deck. I got to bring this this piece right here. And this is a prime example of what you're talking about, Chanda. Let me see if I can get it just queued up here. This is Nancy Pelosi, and she was a reporter went after her about the stimulus package, this skinny bullshit stimulus package she's going with. Now I'm gonna tell me when you can hear this. You guys got to watch this. I was pissed when I.
Was a mistake.
Not to accept half of a loaf months ago when you said, I'm not going to accept half a loaf.
Look, I'm going to tell you something.
Now,
Don't characterize what we did before as a mistake, as a preface to your question, if you want an answer. That was not a mistake. It was a decision, and it has taken us to a place where we can do the right thing without other, shall we say, considerations in the legislation that we don't want. So we're very pleased at where it is. And as I say, with a Democratic president committed to a scientific solution for this, with the idea that we will have a vaccine, it's a complete game changer from them.
So hold on, we're bringing a vaccine. You don't need any money. Is that what she's saying?
I just about lost my shit with that. I think Jimmy had it on his show too, and he was throwing you know what? She's fucking standing there and talking about with a Democratic president, we're going to do the right things. And they're talking about a bill that's what, 878 billion instead of 1.8 trillion. No stimulus checks, no retroactive, nothing
for the working
nothing.
Nothing.
And they're so fucking concerned about liability issues. That's where the bipartisanship comes with all of these fuckers that are not representing you. It's the goddamn big club, and I'm sick and tired of this shit. And if you buy Nancy Pelosi's bullshit, unfollow me because she is just as bad, if not worse. Chuck Schumer, Pelosi, McConnell, all of them. They are scumbags, and I hope the guillotines come for them. I really do, in metaphorical speaking. So there you go. That's it. God damn, that pissed me off. Sorry, I had to bump the deck for that because you...
no, it's a good part of the segment.
Yeah, absolutely. So anyway, thank you for the Giannis clip. What do you got here?
50 years of trickle down has turned millionaires into billionaires and the working class into the working poor.
There's my point. That's what they're doing. Nancy Pelosi, she started out with what, a couple of $1 million, and now she's worth over $100 million. How do you get that way?
Feinstein. They're all fucking like that. Even Maxine Waters.
They're all trash. And yeah, I think I'm done. I'm done. And when we have the likes of Warren, the so progressive
Snake.
She's endorsing Neera Tanden. Barbara Lee
Barbara Lee. Barbara Lee. Oh, such a good progressive.
Sherrod Brown. I mean, we have nobody working. And Tulsi, she's leaving. She's out of there. And the squad, are they saying anything? Are they sucking ass here? What the hell?
Oh, no, they make their public tweets to make it look like they're doing something, but tweeting isn't doing something.
Yeah, tweeting. I can tweet. Jesus Christ, I could sit here and tube it all afternoon at all you beautiful people, but that isn't going to do any good. I can't wait until we get done. I can't wait until we get out of this goddamn COVID. I can't wait for the lives that will be saved. Too. But I'll tell you something. I'll get in my walker, my wheelchair, or walk. I am so done not getting in these fuckers' faces. And I did before this COVID. I went up to my representative's office. I stood in the lobby and I gave them shit. Everybody needs to step on these fuckers because they are roaches and they are just getting bought off right and left. What do we got here? I'm going to shut up.
This is a funny little skit about being a 4chan creator.
A 4chan. What's a 4chan?
4chan.
4chan? Okay.
Fortran.
Let's check it out.
Q lives, where Q lives.
Okay. He looks familiar. Do we know him?
He's a comedian that I like that I've been bringing a lot. What's his name? It's on the video.
Okay. Let's check it out. I need a laugh.
Look, facts don't care about your feelings. But I do care about your feelings, which is why I don't share any facts. Hi, my name is Kevin Berkman, and I'm a 4chan influencer. Yeah, I first discovered the 4chan message boards when I was cruising the dark web looking for some ointment. I need a specific kind of ointment for what I got going on. So I made a couple of posts and, I thought the jokes were pretty obvious, but turns out some people will believe literally anything they read on a message board. Especially if you make Donald Trump seem like a superhero. I mean, one time I posted that Donald Trump secretly turns into Keanu Reeves at night and battles water demons with his bare hands. And people were like, yup, that makes sense. Yup. I've been kicked off of Facebook, Twitter, Pornhub. I was recently kicked off of Parler. You know what kind of crazy stuff you have to do to get kicked off of Parler? Yeah, I used to like Alex Jones, but then I found out that some of what he said was true. Yeah, my target demographic is people who think Michelle Obama is a pterodactyl. Probably my best work is the cult I created called ZAnon, where I got millions of people to believe that Donald Trump was sent from heaven to defeat a cabal of one-eyed British vampires that suck on people's toes when they sleep. A lot of people said, oh, you got any proof for that? And I was like, nope. And they were like, we're in. Now I just do Z drops where I just get high on Windex and say what's on my mind. I also recently launched a podcast to expand my audience. The thing is, if you did not vote for Donald Trump, then you are a pedophile. That's just the way it is. The more I look into it, the more I realize that Tom Hanks is the Antichrist. Can Donald Trump manipulate fire by using his mind? Prove that he can. And as an influencer, I have a very wide reach of influence. So I've been working with a lot of different brands that speak to my audience. Hey everybody, I'd like to thank today's video sponsor, Meth Pops. They're like lollipops, but with meth. This really is my favorite type of moonshine. I drink it every morning. It's yum delicious. Making stuff up every day is hard work, but it's better than exercise, I think. Doctor says I shouldn't exercise anyway because my blood is too thick. Said I got thick blood, like diesel fuel or oat milk. I got oat milk blood. I got oat milk blood. People's families being torn apart because they follow what I say. Hey, listen, if I went outside and I took a doo-doo in the street again, it's up to you whether or not to ignore that doo-doo or play in the doo-doo. And right now, millions of people are playing in my doo-doo. It's pretty fun.
Goddamn Whoppers. Jesus Christ. The Whoppers. Thank you for that. I needed that. I need to be brought down when I get on my soapbox, and that's the best way to do it. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Oh my God. He's good. Doesn't he have a little bit of Franklin about him, an air of Franklin?
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, right.
A little bit of Franklin. Franklin, watch this guy. I think, You've got a couple of good memes here. What is this? Ask.
Hold on a sec. I've got stuff in my screenway. There we go. Ask your doctor if a drug with 32 pages of side effect is right for you.
Yeah. And are you going to take the vaccine for the COVID-19 when it first comes out?
Nope.
Hey,
Veg.
Vegematic.
Yeah, that's a fuck no.
Yeah, and I one of my good friends that I follow, she put that post up, and I was surprised. It was about 3-1 people that said no, were 1/3, and the other 2/3 said yes. And I'm going to not take it because my wife and I don't get out. We don't go anywhere. We've been out since April. We've been out a dozen times max, and we wear our masks and our gloves, and we're doing that to be socially responsible. But fuck no, I don't trust these goddamn drug companies.
I don't either.
At all. So,
No.
And when you have 32 different side effects with this kind of stuff, I was talking to my sister earlier. And I think that she takes a flu shot every year, but you and I were talking in the green room. The last 2 times I had a flu shot, I got sicker than a dog.
Yeah, me too. And my granddaughter, I had to take her straight to the hospital. She was so sick.
Yeah,
I'm collapsed.
I'm quite concerned about doing that. And if I hadn't been doing it, sure, maybe that's how it works. Maybe I should have been taking them every year because they change them up every year. And when I, finally take one, it really fucks me. So.
No, they'll tell you that the amount that it covers is not even. Yeah, no, I'm not going to get into vaccines tonight, but
I don't want to get into vaccines. I had all my shots, my rabies. And
I've had all
that
my
stuff.
shots too. That I'm legally required to have.
Yeah, me too. So yeah, we'll cover the vax.
You won't get the rabies.
Yeah, we'll cover the vax when I get some heroin or something. What do you got here?
Calm your ass down. This is a crazy story about an island over in Scotland where they were studying warfare during World War II. Well, they fucked up and kind of left anthrax there for, 80 years.
Kind of left anthrax on an island?
Well, it was contaminated. So.
Well, didn't they do that with nuclear fission on Bikini Atoll and places like that?
Fuck, they did that all over.
Yeah, so let's just
the Marshall Islands. I mean, we're always fucking shit up for testing war stuff.
Yeah, let's just kill everything on the planet. Let's hurry it along. Okay, this is good.
Grunard Island is located in Grunard Bay, just off the shores of Scotland. The island, which is a mere 1.2 miles in length, was once covered in trees, but now sits barren and uninhabited as it has been since the 1920s. Until recently, stepping foot on this tiny island was forbidden. It's said that it was so contaminated with biological weapons that disturbing the area would release massive amounts of anthrax into the air. During World War II, military scientists of Britain's biology department began researching the use of biological weapons. In a series of experiments, codenamed Operation Vegetarian, the scientists hoped to develop a way to infect the German beef supply with anthrax. The strain of anthrax, Volum 14578, was chosen as this particular strain becomes more virulent as more people are exposed. That is, it becomes easier to infect and damage more hosts. And although gastrointestinal anthrax is rare, it is just as deadly. While other forms of anthrax cause abscesses of the skin and throat, Volum 14578 would cause bleeding in their digestive system, with a mortality rate of about 60%. All they needed was a place to do the testing. The scientists knew the tests would cause long-term contamination of the anthrax spores, so they sought out a remote location. Grunard Island was easily found suitable, and the British government requisitioned it from the owners. In 1942, a 50-man team headed by meteorologist Sir Oliver Graham Sutton and microbiologist David Henderson headed to the island to begin Operation Vegetarian. The team brought 80 sheep along with them for testing. As seen on videotapes that became declassified in 1997, the experiments consisted of detonating an anthrax bomb above a group of sheep. Once the bomb was set off, a brownish cloud wafted towards the sheep. Later in the video, the sheep are shown being incinerated. The sheep all died within days of exposure to the anthrax spores.
Of course.
The scientists abandoned Operation Vegetarian when they discovered that releasing anthrax spores in the amounts they were testing would leave German cities uninhabitable for decades. Also, they were unable to decontaminate the island after the experiments had been carried out. In 1945, the original owner of the land requested the land to be returned to him. Due to the contamination still being present, this was not possible. The government agreed to take responsibility for the island and its cleanup. The family of the owner would be able to purchase the island back for £500 once that was completed. Many years passed before anything was done about the island. It was deemed too expensive and too dangerous to decontaminate, and the government quarantined indefinitely. It wasn't until 1981 that the idea of decontamination of Grunard Island came up again. Newspapers began receiving messages from Operation Dark Harvest. The messages demanded the immediate decontamination of the island. Operation Dark Harvest claimed they had a team of microbiologists collect contaminated soil from the island. One message threatened to leave the soil at appropriate points that will ensure the rapid loss of indifference of the government and the equally rapid education of the general public. 2 boxes of samples were distributed. One was left at the military facility in Porton Down, another was left outside a government office where the Conservative Party was holding a conference. Although the Porton Down sample contained anthrax bacilli, the other sample did not. Finally, in 1986, decontamination began. Over 300 tons of formaldehyde diluted with seaweed was sprayed over every inch of the island. The topsoil with the highest contamination was also removed. Then, to test the safety of the island, a flock of sheep was placed there. Those sheep remained healthy. In 1990, 4 years after decontamination attempts, the island was deemed safe. And as promised, the family of the original owner was allowed to purchase the island back. For 48 years, the island sat in a state of ruin that could only be caused at the hands of humans.
Crazy story.
What a cheery story.
Well, if you think that our government doesn't have the capability and hasn't been playing around with biological warfare for centuries, because they were doing it during the Civil War before that, Look at the natives.
What is that? That was just a Superfund side of its time, and they didn't even frickin' do anything. I mean, it's like these other places, and I'm sure Snorky would weigh in on this.
Formaldehyde.
I mean, really? Here, have some cancer with that anthrax. I mean, really? Right. So, again, we've got Hanford, we've got all these. We've got what Nevada's got. The Yucca Mountain. I mean, come on, guys.
We got
really?
The Marshall Islands.
Yeah.
The Marshall Islands are really bad.
Yeah. Stevie says, "What the absolute fuck? Aliens take me now." I'm with you, Stevie. I'm so with you. I mean, it's like, oh God, just take me away.
Yeah, you can't clean it up. So somebody goes out there 20 years from now, stirs it up, catches that anthrax spore, takes it to civilization, and then it's let loose because of something they did fucking 100 years ago.
Yeah, hey, mommy, look, I dug down in my sandbox a little too far. My skin's falling off. Fuck.
Exactly.
Are you kidding me? Really?
Boils? It said you get boils in your throat.
Oh, shit, I got enough problems the way it is with all the chemicals I've been sending. I don't need any more. What are you doing bringing Marty McFly back here?
Marty, whatever happens, don't ever go to 2020.
Oh, shit. Don't go to 2020, 2021, 2022, I think we're just done.
We're so fucked. Yeah.
We are just done.
We got a hard ride for the next 5-10 years. I don't know.
And here's our brother Kevin over at Black Bear News. I think he articulates it best here. And that's the reason why I brought this. So I know a lot of our chats follow Kevin. I have great respect for this man. He's consistent. He's on it every single damn day, and he's honest. And please follow Kevin at Black Bear News on Rockfin or YouTube or whatever. But just listen to the words here. I think he hits it out of the park.
Welcome to Black Bear News, where the truth lies somewhere in between. Everything's a conspiracy, and there are no conspiracies, and that is the truth.
I'm going to turn it up a little.
Boring, maybe. Infuriating to some, and mostly everyone. I do my best to piss everyone who watches this channel off. Not on purpose, but because the truth rarely aligns cleanly with an ideology or with every spectrum of ideology some might align with. All fine and well. The truth is, most can't handle the truth. Even the seasoned, crusty doomers who occupy these chats have their moments of zombie. But I'm glad you keep coming back. I'm not Bo, the fifth column, the guy whose channel will die once Trump is gone, because he occupies a space no different from Rachel Maddow or Chris Hayes. Who will he criticize once Trump is gone? Mitch McConnell? Riveting stuff there. I'm interested in a road less traveled. Climate change is a ratings killer. It's infinitely more sexy to jump in the boat with all the other conspiracy theorists and think people who speak of climate change are all on board with Agenda 2030 or a Green New Reset. What will you do when the climate disasters grow so large that you will be forced from your home, your job, life as you know it? That will happen long before you're forced to live in a smart city, surveilled and taxed and vaccinated for maximum control. Yep. Yeah, that's something I've never supported or suggested on this channel. Once again, for those who must resist or deny the truth, the conspiracy isn't that climate change is a hoax or that they are seeking control through climate change. The conspiracy is that it is much worse than they will let you know. That their plans to control what's left of our time together are puny in comparison to the ass-kicking that planet Earth is about to give us. I know, it's not sexy. And the reality will stop you dead in your tracks with no joy to fill the foreseeable future. I'm not here to tell you how to live, just suggest some alternatives from time to time, to vent about the walls of lunacy that will engulf everyone as we all go down in righteous outrage. They were wrong. We were wrong. I was wrong. As the last of the fields dries up, as the tanks roll over barren lands and skeletons, as the remaining few close the iron doors of their bunkers on the sun forever.
Obviously, he wrote that.
Kevin, I love him. You know, I love Kevin, but I can't watch Kevin every day because I get this just, God, we're so fucked, you know, and he does such a good job with his research, and you can't deny what he's saying.
No, you can't. And he's not a dick about it either. I mean, he's a human being just telling you, hey, guys, we're all in this together. I'm going to suggest a few things, might make going easier, but, you know, just wrapping your mind around what we have, where we've come from over thousands and thousands of years to where we are now in just a couple hundred years. Are you effing kidding me? Really? And
he's right. He's right about the cities.
Yeah, he is. And I got this vision of the Terminator with the tanks running over the skulls and everything.
Oh, my God.
And, you know, I know he's a very creative person. And he even said before this pandemic, he used to go to the movies all the time just to pass time and occupy his mind and stuff. So he's a creative, he's a great musician, good human being. I hear
Metallica's Nothing Else Matters when I see him.
Yeah, I mean, but anyway, go over and support Kevin.
Yes, we love Kevin.
We love Kevin. He's down to earth, great guy. This one was, I brought this the other day. This is Jacinda Ardern, and she's the Prime of New Zealand, right? I think that's what she is. But I'm going to run this because some of the comments in this were made for her. People were saying, why can't she be the president of the world? I happen to frickin' agree. But check this out.
I second that.
She's just so right on with this. This is just great.
Mr. Speaker, I think the first and most important point to make is that this is a declaration based on science. That's right. This declaration is an acknowledgement of the next generation, an acknowledgement of the burden that they will carry if we do not get this right and if we do not take action now. We cannot underestimate a generation angst and full of anxiety over the reality of climate change for them and their generation. And Mr. Speaker, it is up to us to make sure that we demonstrate there is a pathway, there is a plan for action, and there is a reason for hope. For them, it is instinctual, it is tangible, it is real. It is about the country they will inherit, and it's about the burden of debt they will inherit unless we make sure that we demonstrate leadership on this issue. Mr. Speaker, this declaration is about our global responsibilities. As a nation, it is not in our nature to turn our back on a problem. And it's certainly not in our DNA to ignore a sense of responsibility and obligation. And on climate change, we will only make progress if we absolutely accept that collective action is required. If any nation falls short, we all fall short. I encourage every member of this House to take the issue of climate change with the utter seriousness that it deserves. Vote in favour of this declaration today. Be on the right side of history. Be part of the solution we must collectively deliver for the next generation.
Yeah, Dingo says she's just another neoliberal on most.
I was going to say, I got to push back just a little because I know I've heard bad things, but for her, the size of their island, I think it's great what she's saying and what they're doing because they do have to protect. God, it's so fucking beautiful, Yeah. I'm glad that they're leading the way and she's leading the way. But yeah, I do get that feeling that she has some neolib.
Yeah, I'm sure she is. And like we see with our reality squad, is that what you call them? Reality
TV squad?
Reality TV squad. Yeah, sure. They're going to be doing the smoke and mirrors things and stuff, but at least they're talking about it.
Right.
And that's the thing. If I'm going to sacrifice my principles for anything, it's going to be for climate change, number one, and Medicare for number two. And that's what we got.
Right.
But we have to hold the line on this shit. We cannot keep sending back the same neoliberal pieces of shit to Congress and expect that things to change. How many times?
We can't not with a rigged election.
And the election system. The election integrity is number one as far as getting that done. And don't take any shit off of anybody calling you a Russian bot or just tell them to fuck off. I mean, because this is reality. I mean, the planet, we're going to drown, we're going to burn up, whatever. So yeah, again, a dingo. Yeah,
I like the black hole idea much better than all these ones.
Yeah, I'm all for that too. Well, I brought
Suck
that
us
the
into
other
a black
day.
hole.
So, what do we got? What do we got coming up here? We got you brought this. You always bring the good stuff. I always bring the sad stuff.
The sad stuff. Why is Miss Universe always from Earth?
I don't know. That's a good question. Why is Miss Universe? What is it? Was this Miss? What is that? Who is that? Miss?
I don't know.
Miss
VI.
Is that a planet next to Pluto?
Venezuela?
Yeah, maybe that's what it is. That's a mind starver. Where's Pat? Damn it.
Where is Pat? Pat. I haven't seen him in the chat yet.
I haven't seen him either. Maybe he's busy tonight.
Karaoke and out.
Maybe he's karaoke. Go over to the karaoke closet and Jamie Kuhn, his wife, great singer. Let's skip on over and
I'm a proud friend of Putin.
Hollyweird. What do we got?
Hollyweird. I don't have a lot of Hollyweird tonight, but I have Aunt Becky crying to get out of prison. Whole 3 months. Her 3 months she had to spend in there.
Oh, it's 3. I only thought it was 2. Now, what's Massimo got? He's got 5, right?
He got 5.
Oh, well, that's okay. Just sit back and drink your Starbucks and do your thing. So.
Right. First on the docket, Lori Loughlin. That's right. This struggle is real. Apparently, the disgraced Fuller House star is living on a diet of peanut butter and jelly sandwiches and is really anxious about getting COVID-19. Now, Miss Loughlin, hey, been there, done that, did the whole COVID thing. It sucks, but you can get through it. Now, Miss Loughlin, who's 56, is at the Federal Correctional Institution, Dublin. She's there for 2 months. That started on October 30th after being convicted of mail fraud for her paying crooked consultant William Singer $500,000 to get her daughters into UCLA. Apparently, Miss Loughlin is out of her quarantine pod, but she's then now placed into general population. However, the entire facility is still basically locked down, so she's basically still in quarantine in her cell. Now, according to Federal Bureau of Prison Statistics, 326 tests have been given to date, with 16 positive cases and 12 are still pending. Now, I can tell you, I'm familiar with this particular facility because it's a female facility, and I actually have a client there right now that we are working on some issues to try to get them released early because of the threat of COVID. It's a thing, and the courts are actually taking a look at it quite closely. Don't think Miss Laughlin's going to receive any early outs because of COVID on her particular case, but the reality of it is prisons, although they tried to keep them clean, there is no greater way for germs and disease to spread than to the people in a prison facility. And hopefully, my client, unlike Miss Laughlin, who did ask for early release due to the pandemic, was denied because the judge said that she has no health problems. My client has significant health issues, so hopefully we'll get some relief on that rather.
So Aunt Becky wants out of prison.
God. Well, Hallmark's running out of Christmas titles for movies.
Right.
Maybe Hallmark will hire her back and do Christmas in the Slammer or something.
Yeah, maybe she's in there watching her Hallmark movies.
Yeah, I mean, when calls the heart when you're in jail? I don't know.
But the true bottom line of this segment is that it is rampant in prisons right now, and nobody is talking about it. There's hunger strikes going on. There's protests, and it's scary, especially if you've got somebody in prison who's there for marijuana or something, and they die of COVID.
Yeah, we're not wishing anybody anything bad. I mean, shit. She got busted. I mean, how long was Martha Stewart in? 6 months?
Oh yeah,
she was in a long time.
She didn't do hard time either.
Yeah, it was a vacation. Just here's your bed and whatever. No malice there, but yeah, she took her privilege and she busted the law.
She was just a sacrificial lamb for the elites.
Yeah, it was
doing what they always do, and they're still doing. So they sacrificed her just to make it look good.
I always think that these elites have little fights among themselves.
Oh, they do. They
screw each other over. You can't touch me.
The wrong person over you. Yeah, I'll show you.
Yeah, I'll show you. I know a judge and I know a cop, and you're gonna go bye-bye.
Oh yeah.
They really play those brutal games.
Yeah, they do. They do.
Now, what is it? Now, this is a can opener.
Don't claim you know anything about cars unless you can tell me what this part does.
So what kind of cans does that open? Chanda. Oh, never mind. It's after dark. It's okay.
Yeah, it's after dark.
Okay. I'm gonna have some pizza. Now we're gonna eat the rich. And where we go? We're going here. Oh, Barbie.
So this is some Christmas ideas for those people out there shopping.
All right. Christmas ideas. I need some Christmas ideas. I'm not buying anything, especially from Bezos. So.
Piece Rubik's Cube. Most kids have a love-hate relationship with the Rubik's Cube. Were you ever able to figure out the algorithm and solve it? Can't relate, really? We all know Rubik's Cubes come extremely cheap these days, but what's better than a cheap Rubik's Cube? An expensive one! This thing is called the Masterpiece Rubik's Cube, and it costs an impressive $1.5 million. It was created to commemorate the 15th anniversary of Rubik's Cube back in 1996. But what makes this so special is the fact that it has actual rubies as well as other precious gems. 185 carats of precious gems to be exact. We're not even sure we dare to even touch this one, yet alone figure out the combinations to get single colors on one side. We'd be too busy processing the fact that we're holding a $1.5 million toy in our hands.
We deserve
to die. Of course, expensive toys like this one aren't meant to be played with, but if you're a die-hard Rubik's Cube fan, this is a perfect gift. If your bank account allows it, of course. Not impressed by the cube? Stick around because we're only amping up the toy price. Yep, there are 7 toys out there that are worth more than $1.5 million.
What?
Golden Monopoly. We're not lying, there's a golden Monopoly out there. While we don't think playing with a gold Monopoly would make the game any less frustrating, it would probably prevent your family members to flipping the table when they get angry. Seriously, it's a Monopoly made of gold. This one was designed by a San Francisco jewelry designer back in 1988, and it took him a whole year to make this game. Yep, a whole year. We can't even imagine what that must have looked like. If you had to choose between playing Monopoly for a year or making it, which one would it happy. We can't decide which one seems more frustrating. So how much does this gold board game cost? Well, the set of dice is about $10,000 because the dots are made of 42 full-cut diamonds. The properties are made of expensive gems, which brings the entire piece to an impressive $2 million. No, not Monopoly money, actual dollars. The piece was actually donated to the Smithsonian Museum back in 2003, so it's not really available for sale or for playing. Hands up if you're a huge
just put me out of my misery.
I didn't even bring the top ones.
Oh,
I mean,
shit.
They're insane.
Bring them next week. Bring some more. I love that. I mean,
Lifestyles of the Rich.
Yeah, Lifestyles of the Rich and Shameless. Some Dubai asshole will end up buying that Monopoly game. So it's not. It was donated. Why was it donated? We know why.
It's beyond disgusting. It is fucking beyond disgusting. But I bring these clips to remind everybody that they're getting enriched off of the backs of our fucking labor. Until we step up and say enough and push back and have general strikes and say we're not going to take it. You have to give us a living wage. You have to give us Medicare for all. We're done enriching you.
Yeah,
they're just going to keep buying stupid shit like this.
Yeah, it's over. We're enriching. We got mile-long food lines.
No, Bezos works 10 billion times harder than you. You know.
Fuck Mr. Octopus for breakfast every day. That guy, he can rot. Too.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Jesus Christ. Oh my God. Here's Kurt. What's Kurt got?
Kurt Cobain called from 91. He says, we're all stupid and contagious.
Oh, well, yeah, I understand. And that's 1991. By 1996, they had the smaller size with the little flip out
on the bottom.
And it had the little antenna you pulled out. I had one.
I had the big clunky car phone. It was wired into the car. It was Camaro.
Oh, wow. Wow, weren't you special? Weren't you special? What do you got
But
here?
I couldn't afford it. I couldn't really afford it.
Oh, come on.
Well, no, because it was like $5 a freaking minute or some shit. And you had to pay a service to be connected. So finally, I just drove around and looked cool like I had.
You should have made your lawyer pay for it.
My lawyer. Like, I wish I would have had a lawyer. Would have kept me out of trouble. Okay, so I always talk about how I love these abandoned shows, but normally they're like an hour long because that's how long it takes to walk through one of these places. The rich just leave these fucking palaces and mansions and chateaus all over the world, falling apart, rotting most of the time with all the original artwork and shit in them. But this one is kind of special because it's the Rothschilds running mansion just outside of Paris.
Rothschilds? How dare you bring a Rothschild story? Stop it.
Clutch your pearls.
Oh my God. Let's check it out. Well, that was entertaining. Who are you going to take a shot at now? Okay, that's your Rothschild's quota for the month. Who's next week? You got one in mind?
Well, further down the deck, I go after the Illuminati and the Bilderbergs.
Oh shit, that's cool. What do we got?
I could get my tinfoil hat out for that shit.
Oh yeah, did you watch this chick?
I brought this a couple days ago. Remember?
That was. Yeah, I think she's been hanging out with Pelosi too much.
That was freaking comical, is what it was.
Yeah, she was sitting there while Giuliani. And by the way, we don't need to. I'm going to say it. Giuliani farted. Who gives a shit?
Yeah,
I mean,
I heard about that.
And here's Emma Vigeland. Oh, it's confirmed. Giuliani farted. Thanks. Yeah, I needed that. So whatever. So I guess I'm just as bad because I even brought it up. So whatever.
Yeah, I find it stupid.
It is stupid. That's not news. Emma, stop it. Okay, what do we got?
Trump freestyling. This is pretty cute.
Okay. Trump, is he skiing or what's he doing? Just talking?
He's rapping.
Oh, okay.
Mask off. Mask off.
Oh,
I beat COVID, then I took my mask off. Mask off. Joe, take that big mask off. Don't let COVID dominate you or your grandpa. Mask off. I take my mask off. Couple billion in the bank and we talking tax fraud? Nah. Mask off. Pull up in a Jaguar. Turn the presidential motorcade into NASCAR. I put that little infection into witness protection. You'll get your stimulus checks when I win the election. Sleepy Joe isn't fit to run. Open your eyes. I became immune to COVID and Joe would have died. Yup. COVID would have ate your lunch, Joe. That's what's up.
That's what's up.
That's what's up. that was good. Thank
mask
you.
Off.
Mask on.
Off.
Mask on. I love this. Oh, this was your Lord of the Rings people. So
I know I got a lot of Lord of the Rings references tonight. Fox News, your grandparents. It's so true.
Yeah, that was that what was his name? Wormtongue?
Is that what it was?
I don't know.
I can't remember. I've only seen the series probably 100 times and read the books, but I don't know.
It's not Schmeagol. So
no, that's not Schmeagol. That's
oh God, I can't.
I could vibe to this. I know, right?
I love it. This guy, he was in the original Dune. He was good actor, character. I don't know if he's around anymore, but he's good. Yeah. Fox News and your grandparents. That's not just Fox News. It's MSNBS. It's CNN.
Yeah, CNN.
It's all of them. All of them.
Any of them that's advertising big pharma, big oil, big insurance,
military, Raytheon,
military. Yeah.
It's all of them. So
just watch the commercials and you'll know who you're actually watching.
Yeah, Fox has actually been probably doing some better reporting lately. That's ironic. So
thanks,
anyway,
Stevie.
What do we got? We got a movie.
Oh, okay. So we used to do Bernie Sanders during this time in the show, and we all loved Bernie Sanders, but we finished that series after 8 weeks. It took us 8 weeks to finish that series, but now I'm struggling to find us animated, funny, but
we're gonna have to make our own.
This week we're gonna learn about the Bilderbergs, and then the Illuminati, and then next week we'll do the Bilderbergs.
Oh, okay. Illuminati. Now the Illuminati, where they go around and light the city lights at night. What are they?
Yeah, they illuminate everything.
Okay, let's get illuminated.
A man is sitting at home with the lights turned off, his face illuminated by the glare from the TV screen. This guy hasn't been outside in weeks. He's obsessed, you could say possessed, by a theory that a new world order is about to make a move and get rid of a significant amount of the population. He's suddenly taken aback by a strange image on the TV, which is a public service announcement being given by both the President of the United States and the Queen of England. Before they say anything, the two put their fingers up to their foreheads at the point of their hairlines, and in unison they pull down the skin from their faces, and it's revealed that they're both actually lizard people. I knew it, thinks the guy. We are your overlords, say the Queen and the President in tandem. It's time you all knew the truth. We're guessing you guys think this is a ridiculous way to start a show, but polls have indeed revealed that something like 12 million American people believe we are ruled over by interstellar reptiles. These alien beings hiding in human suits are said to be the world's elite, and we, the general populace, are the slaves. Not everyone buys into the lizard theory, but a lot of people believe we are ruled by secret groups, such as an entity called the Illuminati and another entity called the Bilderberg Group. You don't have to be suffering from psychosis to believe this. There are a lot of rational people that think there are invisible hands pulling strings above our marionette heads. Today, we're going to take a look at these two entities, and at the end of the show, you can make up your own mind as to which organization controls the world, or if the groups are actually not as powerful as has been made out. You might also agree with our own surprising conclusion. Warning, this will not be an easy examination, but you're gonna gain some knowledge that we think will benefit you. No lizards were harmed in the making of this video. Okay, so it's no secret that there are organizations on this planet whose members are sometimes rich and powerful people. That is not a theory, it's a fact. These might be secretive, such as the Freemasons, or they might be round tables of influential people that talk about issues such as global warming. The conspiracy theorists believe that these elites are machinating to create what's called a New World Order, which is basically a world run by them in a totalitarian way. It might involve population control or even mind control. We the people are what they might call the herd. We buy into what they tell us. This theory is not unique, and we certainly have been called herds before by powerful leaders and social scientists. The man sometimes called the father of public relations and propaganda, one Edward Bernays, did his bit to control the public. He believed that we, the masses, were irrational, but as people that acted like herds and couldn't think for themselves, we could easily be controlled. He proved his theory to be true, too. So that's how this New World Order might take over, according to some conspiracy theorists. There are differing opinions, and it's a very complex subject. Some people think the world where we're heading might be fascistic in nature and will be controlled by a big brother world government in a totalitarian manner. A man called George Orwell once wrote about that. But the trend now seems more in line with a book written by a guy named Aldous Huxley. This writer penned something called Brave New World. It's different from Orwell's dystopia because we, the masses, will gladly accept our slavery. As they say in the tech world, we will opt in. Here's a snippet from the book. A really efficient totalitarian state would be one in which the all-powerful executive of political bosses and their army of managers control a population of slaves who do not have to be coerced because they love their servitude. We mention this because this is what conspiracy theorists are relating to when they talk about the New World Order and the elites that will rule over us. We need to be controlled, either through force and surveillance, a good amount of public relations, or technological applications that distract us from how fudged things have become. These elites are a multinational group, according to the conspiracy theorists. There is no national superpower, it's a collaborative effort. In fact, the us versus them dichotomy is just a distraction, so these elites can keep us in a constant state of stress, making us easier to control and harming our immune systems because our stress hormones fire up every time we go online. Okay, so who are these elite groups? We'll now introduce you to the elite.
Okay, so we're going to learn the rest next week.
I'm going to go with Brent McKinney and be an Ashruminati. I wish I was an Ashruminati. Yeah, so, no, that was great. Shout out to Brave New Future with Amber King on that.
Right?
She probably liked that little segment there. So yeah. No, that was very good. Very good. I hope everybody enjoyed that. God, are we at the end of the show?
We're getting there.
What the hell? What do we got? Yeah, that's about it. That's I think we haven't crashed yet. So anyway.
No, we haven't crashed yet.
No, I want to thank everybody. Human, love solidarity. Everybody over. Oz Whistles left a little while ago. I had to go back to work. And
so sorry. Thank you guys all for joining us.
Yeah. It's always fun. We get a chance on Saturday night to let our hair down or put our hair on.
Talk about crazy things.
Yeah, talk about crazy things. And again, we, I don't know. What would you call us? We're not civics. We're like news.
Court jesters. I don't know.
Yeah, court jesters, jokers,
Jokers.
We try to be entertaining. But anyway, next week I'm going to be sporting a new hairpiece next week.
Oh, I'm so excited. Coming into Christmas, I know you're going to be pulling something.
Oh, yeah. I got a new hairpiece coming for the next 2 weeks. And what's our schedule going to be like? We talked about it before the show. We're going to the 12th and the 19th, and then we're just going to do our regular shows the week of the Christmas week, and we're going to take off the day after Christmas and the day after that, and then we'll be back on the 28th.
Yep.
And you have an announcement about a big party on the 31st.
Oh yeah, if you want to go down to the next card, I've got
Where is the next card? Is
little-
that it? That's the card right there.
That's the card. So yeah, our Roaring Media Roaring 2020s New Year's Eve party, which
Yay.
all of you are invited to. So just watch for the announcements where I'm planning all kinds of segments, and we had a Halloween party that was really fun. I think it was very successful, and I want to do this. So it'll be like come in costume, dress in flapper and zoot suits and hats and.
Yeah, and that invitation, everybody that was at the Halloween party, unless Chanda disagrees, is invited. Just park your shit at the door and come and have fun.
That's right.
That's
right.
it. No shit. Just come and have fun.
Yep.
And we had a great turnout for the Halloween party. We'll open up the green room and get people on screen, and it'll just be fun. So, and this is a dress up do, right?
Oh heck yeah! I'm coming all flappered up.
Yeah, you're gonna flapper.
I'm gonna flapper out.
I don't know what I'm gonna do yet. I see how Christmas goes, and then,
I hate to say we're not going to have any Roaring 20s though. Our crash is coming at the beginning of this decade, not at the end.
Yeah. Again, I'm going to call it the week of January 18th. It's really going to get horror show, and the day
Let's
after
have
Christmas.
a picnic on Anthrax Island.
Yeah, or Bikini Atoll or someplace, where we can go and have some fun.
You guys crack me up.
Anyway, thank you. Hey, Trev. Yeah, thank you again, Chanda. I couldn't do this without you.
I can do it without you.
I really
That's fun, and I couldn't do it without you guys. I was thinking about it. I get why Mr. Rogers sang to his people as he was leaving, because he truly appreciated them, and I truly appreciate you guys. But I'm not going to sing Mr. Rogers to you.
Yeah, and you know what? Yeah, human. Thanks. Roar Media needs to be talked up on the other channels. We're the guppies in the big pond here, and we don't mind. We don't mind because we've got the shows, they're listed, and we're not going to make a living out of this. We do appreciate the support. We're going to turn the super chats back on starting Monday. But again, if you want to help us out, go to our Patreons.
Appreciate it.
But Roar Media is going to have all kinds of ways you can throw a donation. I really appreciate the super chats over in Rockfin too.
Yes,
the
thank you
tips.
guys, because that'll help get us noticed over on Rockfin. We are
Yeah.
definitely the small fish over there. Big time.
and that's the way to talk us up. $2, $1, whatever. Just throw it over there, and we'll get talked up. And we hope we're entertaining as long as well as bringing maybe some relevant news. Maybe some civics sometimes. I know Uphill's working on civics over there. We appreciate those efforts. But yeah, we want to make it so your eyes don't glaze over 5 seconds after we start the show. And again, thank you so much, everybody.
Screaming 20s. Yeah, I'm going to use that, Jilly. Thanks.
Oh yeah, that is good, Jilly. That's great. And everybody over at the Natural Progressive Roar Media, we appreciate all of you over there. Again, Oz Whistles, Karen Daly, and the Salt Lakers. Hey, Salt Lakers. And
hey, Salt Lakers.
We've shouted out over there. And again, please send Savage Joy Marie, some love, and
Convo Couch.
And our friends at the Convo Couch. They've got Joy's horribly in rough shape with her site going, and I just can't even get my mind wrapped around it. And Convo Couch, they are all checking on COVID. Johnny has already tested positive for it, so we hope they can get through that crisis quickly. What are we going out with tonight?
I love them. Living on a prayer, because that's what a lot of people are doing for this
Living
Christmas.
on a prayer. That's Christmas. That's Christmas.
Christmas.
Anyway, thanks again, everybody. Have a great evening. Living on a prayer. And let me see if I can get this thing going without crashing the studio. Bye.
We'll probably get punked for it, but I'm prepared. I'll take it.
Okay.
Tommy used to work on the docks. Union's been on strike. He's down on his luck. It's tough. So tough. Gina works the diner all day, working for her man. She brings home you to make it hard. Yeah, it's hard. Gina dreams of running away when she cries.